Welcome, witches, to our July TBR. I will forewarn you, we have quite a stack of books that you can't see over here. We have a little bit of mix of everything. We got fantasy, we got fiction, mystery, we got thriller. We have it all. So let's get into it. The first one's going to be The Push by Ashley Adrain. This is part of my TBR Jar Picks My Book, which I will have linked below. I will be adding, obviously, whatever else gets put in this vlog, but so far I've only picked one book, and that is The Push. This is about a woman who has had a child. She thinks that there's something wrong with this child. She's trying to tell her husband. Her husband, however, is like, no, you're fine, kind of brushing it off. She thinks she's kind of crazy. She then has another child, has that perfect instant mother-child connection. Something very tragic happens, and it kind of tells her maybe she should have listened to her motherly instinct. Another one is for a vlog coming up. I want to do I like this author? So specifically authors that I have multiple of their books on my TBR, but I've never read any of their things. And the first one I want to do is books by J.T. Ellison. I have It's One of Us and Lie to Me. I also have a Kindle version of A Very Bad Thing. It's One of Us is about a woman. She really wants to have a baby, so she goes to start doing some IVF fertility treatments with her husband, Park. Turns out after like a DNA test during this fertility investigation, they come back and say, your son is part of a murder. However, she's unaware that her husband has a son. He admits that he has previously donated some of his and he has no idea how many kids he has or if he had any. And one of them is apparently accused of murder. This one, Lie to Me by J.T. Ellison. This is following a couple who seems perfect. Everything seems great. Turns out behind the scenes, very classic domestic thriller, which you know I love. Things are not what they are. They're having financial problems. They're having relationship problems. She leaves one day, leaves him a note that says, don't come looking for me. However, now he is the town gossip of what happened, why did your wife leave you, yada, yada, yada. And I'm figuring out there's more to the secret than just The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. After 2 teenagers are found dead in their home and a third one is found alive, he is obviously suspected to be the one that does it. However, he's never actually convicted. He grows up, becomes a horror writer, and his child is later his ghostwriter, and he asks her to write one more last story that may turn out to be the truth of what happened that night. Interesting. The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. Barbara is a 13-year-old who is attending a summer camp. She turns up missing one day. However, the caveat is that her parents own the camp, and it's not the first time one of their children has shown up missing, never to be found again from the camp. So this is a hunt to figure out, one, why these kids keep going missing and where she is. Bury Your Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. This is a fantasy with hopefully that very classic V.E. Schwab thing. And I don't think anything can be said better about this book than the back, which says 3 young women, their bodies planted in the same soil, their stories tangling like roots. One grows high and one grows deep and one goes wild. And all of them grow teeth. Sounds fantastic. The last one on the list is The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic by Brienne Randall. This is following a woman who has this thought that she has to have heartbreak 4 times before she can find true love. Now, her grandmother is very sick. She only has a few weeks to live. Her first true love comes back to town. And also her estranged brother. Her estranged brother is kind of blowing up her life in a kind of telling her some stuff about her family that she wasn't aware of, that's just kind of blowing the lid off of everything. And can she hold it together? Can she find love? How will she handle the loss of her grandmother? So, you know, if you've read any of these, if you want to read any of these, or what is on your July TBR, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, witches.